the big calls on all the big races. Yes, you know that's time for another What a Shouts filmed somewhere in the capital on a Friday morning. Dave Orton, delighted to be back in the seat with you for what is a dual-purpose weekend. Great time of year this, isn't it? We've still got a couple of really big prizes to come over the jumps. Of course, Bet365 Gold Cup next week, Scottish National this. But the flat is back. We've had the Craven meeting, most of it sponsored by Bet365 this week. Thrilling to watch all that action. And of course, we'll be zooming into Newbury for some big race previews. Don't forget, you're watching on YouTube probably. So like, subscribe, comment and share, please. That's what it's all about. Let's get those subscribers right through the roof. If you're watching on Twitter or you want to get involved with any naps or questions for the panel, hashtag What a Shout. Let's get on with it, shall we? In fact, before we do, a bit of housekeeping. If you're not a member of the racing club yet, why not? Stay ahead of the field then. Subscribe today. Why not do so? That offer remains out there. Right, down the panel we go. Who's in? Well, it's the anti-postman. Comes back. Haven't seen you for a little while.
Nah, I was in Maidstone for quite a while. Just sort of Easter, you know.
Whatever it's done, it's worked.
Been quite a good week, mate, yeah.
You're in insufferably good form, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going pretty well, yeah.
You had a good entry.
It's a good entry, good start to the week. Decent winner yesterday.
If you're wondering what on earth we're going on about in your YouTube show, this is the anti-postman.
It is.
Do you have a weekly email now, don't you, where you suggest something on a Monday? Is it Monday?
We gave out a nice plug. It's Tuesday. We gave it a nice plug this week. Put up a couple this weekend.
Yeah, do you know what? And I'm afraid to say, I think your form's going to continue along in strong vein.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're on some nice positions.
Yeah.
But I think it's about. I always thought this email was really going to get very profitable. I think now it's finally clicking. Okay. To be honest.
Listen,
it's been slow. I've put up an awful lot of non-runners.
You started on a high, didn't you, a couple of years ago? Yeah. And then we won't go into that. But like anything, you have to sort of find your feet.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, and you have frustrating runners betting anti-post, don't you? A lot of sort of unlucky non-runners and stuff.
Fenner Cross was a massive one.
It's really clicking now, and more to come hopefully.
All right. Okay. So there you go. Sign up. Another reason to be a members club. You get Robbie's anti-posted advice, and trust me, it is going rather well. As it is for Pat Cooney, who seems to be all over the place at the minute, Pat, from our sponsors, Bet365.
Yeah, I was at their Grand National last week and just come back from 3 days at Newmarket, and then double header Saturday, Newbury in the afternoon, and Oxford Dogs, where we have the sponsor the final. So
but it's great to be alive, Pat, isn't it? It was only a couple of years ago in the pandemic we couldn't get out there, and you're going all over the place again. It's back, isn't it?
Yeah, and you go to the Craven meeting, and all your anti-post bets are alive, aren't they?
Yeah.
Pre-racing.
Come on, what whispers did you get? I heard you were on the gallops and everything.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to do a lot of the trophy presentations, and the horse that won the Wood Ditton yesterday, Passenger, for Sir Michael Stout, a man of few words. Sir Michael Stout trained at Rymore Road. I thought, well, this is going to be a short trophy presentation. Yeah. But both of them were very fulsome in their praise of Passenger. Definitely a notebook horse. He won't be taking in grade ones or group ones early on. They'll be going softly.
And you're being modest because you gave it best turned out, didn't you?
Yes.
And what did he say to you as he passed by?
He said, "You've a good eye."
Oh, there you go. Absolutely.
This best turned out. What do they win for that? What did you get?
100 quid to the
100 quid.
The lad. Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah. I've never known that. I asked in the office the other day, and no one really seemed to know either.
You may be in good form,
it's always
tipping-wise, but you're never going to win. But best turned out, my man.
Come on.
Let's move on, shall we, and find out exactly what we've got coming up for you on this weekend show. Yes, it's that time of year again. Of course, Christian Williams, he always seems to win these big handicaps, doesn't he? He's going for back-to-back Scottish Nationals. We beam into the great man with 2 runners coming for your way. He's got some pearls of wisdom for next week for you as well. Don't miss that. And then 5 big race previews. We've got dual-purpose hats on, 2 over the jumps, 3 from Newbury. Well, it's that time of year. It's the Scottish National. That means it's time to go to the great man. Christian Williams last year, not content with the 1-2. He's having another stab at the big pot up in Ayrshire this weekend, unsurprisingly. No win my win, sadly. But Kitty's is back. in career best form to have another go. We've got Captain Orr as well. Let's see if we can find the great man. Now, we've pulled him up on his journey to the promised land. Christian, where on earth are you?
We're making good headway, so we're just in Lancaster. I've had a good trip up till now. So looking forward to getting there. The sun's out, so should suit the two horses.
Yeah, okay, Christian, thanks for joining us as ever. This is your sort of, third home, isn't it, here, basically, on Watership. Thrilled to have you here. Pat Cooney, let's bring you in quickly while we've got Christian. Captain Orr, if you forgive the Kempton run last time, he could be a big prize. We still think he's quite well handicapped. He'll sneak into it. But the market, once again, not surprisingly, all about our favourite Kitty's Light.
Kitty's Light, and unbelievably, is a 7-year-old. It just feels like he's been around forever, doesn't he? But rock solid chance. He's currently vying for favouritism with John Joe's horse, Moonbig Genius, but we all know he's going to run a mighty race, don't we?
Yeah, all right, Christian, let's come to you then. Look, you're a greedy man. You're going for the exacting again. I bet you've got the champagne on ice already, haven't you? You got greedy going with Captain Orr at Kempton. The run came too soon, didn't it? But if he comes back to that Ascot form, primarily the Doncaster form, he's not out of this.
No, it was only a run before last. He obviously won 100 grand chase at Ascot, so could be the forgotten horse in the race. Seems in great form. Just put a line through his last run, and when he usually gets to this mark, he usually struggles. But we're just hoping that he finds a little bit of improvement at the trip this season. He's looked like he's been staying well in his races.
So confident are you? You've not gone for one of the best unexposed amateurs in Ireland this time. You've put your old pal Nick Schofield on him.
Yeah, and they're good in these big races. Nick, plenty of experience. And obviously couldn't use Rob with the weights. Rob's got a big stocky lad, so he struggled at those weights. Just the plan came together last year and it suited to use Rob, but we're very comfortable with the jockeys we're using.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute, Chris, if you don't mind. Let's hone in on the joint market leader at the moment. It is Kitty's Light. £8 they saddled him with for the Ida win. First of all, how are we feeling about that? I mean, the Ida, for much of that home straight, unlike Wing My Wings, who follows the same route in Kitty's, isn't he? It didn't look likely for a long way, but those of us that have watched every single footstep he's ever run in his career knows that he's rarely beat when he looks it.
Yeah, basically we know that he just can't jump like that on the weekend. If he jumped the way he did the Newcastle at Ayr, then he'd probably be beaten at halfway. But can't work out why he jumped that for, but he does come into himself this time of year. He seems in very good form. Did a few little tweaks at home, which we think might help him. So just hoping, similar run to last year, and put up a good performance.
There's been loads of other gambles in the race, Christian, as well, but you're going to go off one of the market leaders. Listen, we wish you well with him. What did Jack say then when he got off? Was he like, it was a fantastic ride, we should say that. There were all sorts of problems with Jack as well, weren't there? But he must have got off and said, oh, Governor, I don't know how I did that.
We know he comes home well, and those type of races do fall apart from the second and the third last. And Kitty's like, he's a specialist at coming home well, so you can never write him off. And he's obviously well on top of the line and proven with the £8 rise. So obviously not ideal going up £8 going into Scottish National, but the Ida Chase was a race we also like to win, so we targeted that, and then obviously leading the Scottish National and the same route as Win My Wings last season.
Yeah, and you do have an entry. I can see he is in next week, isn't he, in the Bet365 Gold Cup? I'm sure that's precautionary, but you never know with Christian. And what price is he for that at the moment?
It's around about 8-1 favourite at the moment, but of course we'll see how he gets on Saturday. But it'd be good to see him there, but first things first.
Yeah, I can hear him chuckling away in the background. Let's talk about Jack Tudor then, because of course, off to Nicholshane now. You've lost your top jockey. He keeps the ride, obviously, but you must have been proud of what Jack's achieved for you and what he's got going ahead of him, haven't you?
Yeah, no, of course. Hopefully things will still work, and it was great that our team and Jack himself put him in a position there to take a nice job. So hopefully the two of them work, and we got good backup there. Nick Schofield had his collie, a £7 claimer, so we got good backup there when Jack's not available.
When you see Pipey up at Ayr, then make sure he buys you that glass that he promises. You know what he's like, slippery character. So who are the young jockeys coming through, Christian?
There's plenty of good boys out there. And obviously, ladies as well now is a good proper jockeys, but we're comfortable that we've always used Nick when we can't get Jack, when Jack's injured. Nick, very good rider, loads of experience there, so great to be able to get him in the big race tomorrow.
Tell you what, Nick Schofield, another Pat Cooney friend of the show, he'll be watching this thinking, I'm quid's in, I've got another job there, happy day. Next week, with Lord, are you going to Ireland next week with Lord Snooty by any chance?
Yeah, we hope. Yeah, Lord Snooty's, we like him a lot. We're looking forward to him for next season, so, we try not to target the, could win a small race in this country, go up £8 to £9, but we quite like his mark there. And if he goes into next season with the same mark, then it'd be great. There's a valuable race at Haydock at Betfair Chase Day. So there'll be a target for him. I think it's 150 grand, 125,000. And it'd be wonderful if he goes to Punchestown and obviously wins. It'd be great. But if he doesn't win, he go into next season off the same mark. So we're just looking forward with him as well. And be a lovely chaser. He could be, following the footsteps of Captain Ord now as 10-year-old and, coming behind Kitty's light for the big staying chases, back end of next season and into the year after.
Yeah, we're excited about him. I just want to ask you about William Hewitt. Does he go on Sunday, Christian?
Yeah, declared on Sunday. Seems in good form, but obviously a lower rated horse. But he won well the other day. Stepped up in trip. Seemed to be able to dictate the race quite well.
A horse that's caught the imagination of the gallery in here is a horse called Tonto Foley. Do you remember we spoke about him when we thought you might go through the card last time at Newcastle? He didn't run badly there. What happened? He bombed out, didn't he? Tell me there's a race in Tonto Foley.
Yeah, I think he wants a bit nicer ground, and hopefully the spring will probably run him on through the spring a little bit. And he's obviously not too highly rated, but it'd be great if we could win a few races with him.
He said that with a straight face, Pat, because when you talk to him off camera, it's fair to say he knows the ability of Tonto Foley. So Tonto Foley hopefully will soon be a maiden no more. Christian, it's always fun to have you on. You're one of our favourites, you know that. Safe journey up to Ayrshire, man. Go and bring it home, will you?
Thank you.
Brilliant. Christian Williams, what a pleasure as always. Okay, as promised, this is the time you've been waiting for. 5 big race previews coming your way. Let's delve into, shall we go start on the flat? It is the Fred Darling, the 205, a 1,000 guineas trial. And a couple of weeks off now, of course, Coronation Weekend, all that sort of stuff. At Newmarket, it's going to be great. We saw some hints during the week, guys. Pat in particular, you were there. We saw the Nell Gwyn winner, for example. Ammo Racing don't seem to be able to do much wrong at the moment.
They do not, no. And they've got a live candidate here in Magical Sunset, with stable jockey Kevin Stott aboard. And she's got a likeable profile. She's actually won here and on heavy ground. Now, the forecast at Newbury is going to be soft. Showers today, showers tomorrow. So you're looking for your ones with proven form on the soft, and she has it. And she's more experienced than the others, so she's very much in the equation. The market tends to go with these one-run, one-win types, and there's 4 of them. Bridestones, Remarquee, Soul Sister, Stenton, Glider, all from top stables, all very much in the market. There has been a mover this morning, though, and it's Remarquee of Rafe Beckett.
Is this going to go off Fav?
I think that's to be favourite now. Again, 1 run, 1 win at Salisbury. I think so. The ground's going to be okay. Rafe Beckett, he's a good trainer anyway, but he seems to be good with fillies as well.
He knows his family.
Yeah, so he knows when he's got a classic type horse in the race, and she has been the mover of the race. You're taking a lot on trust, of course. She's not run for 205 days, but if you like momentum horses in the market, then she's the girl for you. Yeah,
you mentioned the once race novice winners or maiden winners. Yeah. Historically, they're not the ones to be within this race, Rob. 8 of the last 9 have had at least 2 runs as a 2-year-old. In fact, I think 4 of the last 10 have had 4 runs. Again, we're still at the back end of the 2-year-old season. They always say that the Guineas is the last 2-year-old race of the previous season.
Yeah, I quite like that angle.
Yeah, so I don't know. So do I. Where's the Wilders honing in?
Well, I mean, these classic trials, you can never go with maximum confidence, can you? Because you don't know how these horses are trained on. I don't think the like top juveniles from last season has set a massive standard. Show Along, that's the name, isn't it? Swing Along. Sorry.
Yeah. I went with that.
Fourth in the Chiefly. I don't know about Earl on this sort of ground and over 7. The other Magical Sunset, the 2 Ammo horses Like, you wouldn't have thought that they're top class on what they've shown at 2.
Well, Olivia Moralda was warm order, wasn't she, to go close against the
commissioner.
Commissioner's now
she's very well backed.
retired, unfortunately.
Yeah.
She bombed out in that. It looked like one run too many. I was with her that day. I thought, that can't be right. I actually quite like her. I'm not sure about the draw for these two. They're in 1 and 2, aren't they? So they're going to have to be quite savvy. Kevin's started having a great time. Roger Varian, David Egan. She debuts for Roger Varian as well. I think at the prices, I'm just about edging her way.
Oh, yeah. I was looking at this at Rema. Thought Rema Key was interesting, but that's just been backed off the boards. Like, it's just 8 to 1.
You're guessing a little bit, aren't you?
You are guessing,
Obviously,
yeah.
you want
but, I mean,
to
I've
see
missed
money.
If you've missed the gamble, then I think I'll probably leave her. I think the value now is in a race that, as I say, you can't be completely confident. Is Stenton Glider about 14 to 1, and you're getting 4 places. With
Tom Marquand, Hugo Palmer, give us the case.
Yeah, like what she did on her debut at Chester. That was a tight track. Looked like she was in need of a bit more of a test. Good soft grounder. She was just really, really green that day, and beat Philly Propence, who won a Newmarket Maiden pretty well.
And well this week.
Won it
Absolutely.
well
Michael
this week.
Stout back in the big time soon, I think.
Yeah, it's just like Propence had the previous run. She went off 1 to 4 to win. Well put in her place. There's no excuse. I thought she could be a bit shorter. It is a bit of a guess up. I think the Dandy Man won this a couple of times, a couple of winners of this recently.
Yeah, likes the soft ground.
Hugo Palmer.
There is rain.
He wouldn't have too many debut winners, would he? So this is obviously an above average filly, and you're looking for something a bit. We had sort of big price winners in the trials at Newmarket.
This isn't a great race for favourites. Only 2 of the last 10 have won. Alcohol Free was one of those who went on to be a worldie, of course. All right, so let's just get a quick tip. I am going to go with Oliver Moralda. When she won a novice there, she'll love this crack. If they can just get a bit of cover with her early, I think she'll hit the line hard.
Yeah, I can see that. A Stenton Glider for me.
Yeah, and Pat?
I'll respect the money for Remarquee.
All right, OK. Going in with Rafe Beckett then in the first classic trial at Newbury this season. Let's go up to Ayr, shall we? Complete change. It's the Scottish Champion Hurdle and another wide open race, Pat Cooney.
Yeah, around about 5 to field at the moment. What I can say, since the final decks come out, there's been 2 for money. Milkwood of Neil Mulholland with Sam Twist and Davis Board. Good course and distance form, I can understand that. And last year's winner, Anna Benina for John McConnell, who always seems to have winners in England. And of course, she won a year ago under a great ride from Sean Bowen. Got the excellent Ben Harvey aboard, a real good, talented £5 claimer in Ireland. So they're the 2 that's been for money. I'm going to go to Kelso 7 weeks ago for my 2 against the field here, really. Colonel Mustard ran ever so well in the handicap for Lorna Fowler. He was just chinned on the line. He was going to go for the either the Coral or whatever at Cheltenham, but they decided to wait. There was nothing at Aintree, so they want to come here for it. I'd very much respect that. And Nemean Lion of Kerry Lee won at Kelso that day, and she thinks very highly of this horse. He was, unbelievably, was trained by Andre Farr, would you believe, before Kerry managed to get hold of him. And I was at Kelso that day, and Kerry was like, what's the ground? What's the ground? He really wants softer ground. Well, it's good to soft good in places with showers forecast.
I think at Kelso last time he didn't have to have it hot deep.
That's right, that's right.
He's a horse that's had his problems, I think, and that's kind of why he's ended up with Kerry, but she's got him rocking and rolling.
Yeah, and she thinks quite a bit of him. I thought off 10 stone 11, he would appeal to me.
He is on my shortlist as well. Anna Bonina was a great result for me in the race last year, and you're right, Sean Bowen absolutely just got her right there.
That's it.
She's got, what, £10 more in her back?
Ben Harvey, though, he's very good.
Ben Harvey, yes, he is. He was on Fenner Cross, of course, on the Ring the Bell. And, it's a classy race, isn't it? I mean, you've got First Street in here who I think, bombed out at Cheltenham, but he's a classy angle. Colonel Mustard certainly deserves to win. I reckon he might get first one on Low Sud again, who's waited to reverse that for the Skeltons, who always seem to have a good one. You've got 2 in here, though, and one of them I particularly like.
What do you think the ground is exactly going to be like? Because at the start of the week, I was thinking good ground, maybe good soft, but...
Well, did you hear what Christian said in his interview? The sun is shining, it will suit both my horses.
Yes. Right, OK. I was interested in you saying Nemean Lion. I thought it'd be too quick for him, but... With the showers, you just don't really know.
I don't think it's just the ground. If you watch it back at Kelso, he looks cooked. And then he gets on top of Colonel Harry, the further he goes, and it's a stiff
yes, absolutely.
I wonder if it might be a bit shocked. Now, maybe they'll change the tactics a little bit, do a Corrick Rambler if you like, and sit a bit closer to normal.
Sure. My 2 were Rubo and Salsada. Which one do you like out of those 2?
The latter, but I'll let you
Salsada.
give the case of both.
OK, when I was looking at it at the start of the week, Rubo was like double the price of Isio, the other Paul Nicholls horse. He was never going to run on the ground. He's a mudlark. Rubo needs it quick, doesn't he? He was pulled out of the top novices at Aintree when a bit of a dark horse for that because of all the rain that arrived then. He's off the back of a Grade 2 win at Kempton, which he looked good that day. He was in a first-time hood, took to it really well. That's back on. Just an interesting horse. Like when he gets good ground, he's obviously talented. I think he's better than his mark. And the other one's Salsada.
Gamble.
Yeah, Patrick Wadge on board. He's £5 claiming to follow. Good record riding for Brian Ellison. That second to Epatante was.
She was sneakily
a nice
back
run,
that day.
yeah.
The reason why I say that, I think it was lots of without and there was lots of forecasts and stuff. There was stable money was down that day.
Yeah, she's got a nice way of going. She obviously needs decent. She's good on the flat. She's rated about in the 90s on the flat.
She's won at Ayr.
Yeah, exactly. That's another positive.
Yeah.
I just thought she finished ahead of a lot of higher rated mares that day at Doncaster. She's very unexposed as a hurdler, the right sort of age. Wadge on board. Yeah, the two for me. I almost postmaned Soaring Glory too. I saw Keels put him up as well.
Do you know what? I just think he's trading on past glories now, Soaring Glory.
A little bit, yeah. But it's just that record fresh. He always puts up really good.
They tried to put him up in trip. They probably put him over fences. Look, John Joe could quite well get him absolutely right. And if there's a wodge of money for him, then
Patrick Wadge of money.
A Patrick Wadge of money, you'd be looking at. But do you know what? I think I think he's a terrible price.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, he was about 12s early in the week. I wanted to put 3 up, to be honest, but I thought that's a bit silly.
It's a bit greedy, even in your form.
Even with four places for a quarter of the odds, and there's 14. I thought there's only 11 runners.
What a fascinating race, isn't it? And it's always a really good finish, this race.
Breaking news, Nemean Lion has been withdrawn.
How's he now?
Yep, so we'll have to stick to your initial selection, Pat.
So it is too quick for Nemean Lion. All right, we gave you all that on him, but we'll look out for wherever we run next. Maybe with some rain around, he'll turn up at Sandown next weekend as well. Let's go back to Newbury, shall we? It's another classic trial for you. This time the Colts coming out in the 240. It's the Greenham. And memories of Frankel here, Pat.
Memories of Frankel. Yes, I'm not quite sure we're going to see similar tomorrow, but
well, we've got Hot Pot. It's in the same colours. Come and help me out here, Pat.
Yeah, it's Chaldine, Andrew Balding, who didn't have a winner at Newmarket, but a lot of them ran well. So I was initially thinking, how well is the stable going? But there's 6 wins from 39 runners, 15%, and they are being placed. So yeah, he's clearly the horse to beat. 6-4 on. First time out, testing ground.
Is it going to be testing?
Well, I think it'll be soft, but they're going through it type soft. I don't think it'll be like, Hunter Chase type winning margins. He's 6-4 on. At those sort of prices, I'd rather be against him than with him at 6-4 on because it's his seasonal reappearance. And I think there's an interesting runner in the race, Knight, for the Chriswood, Simon and Ed Chrisford, 2 runs, 2 wins. He was going to go for the Craven, but they thought the ground might dry out too much at Newmarket and that it wouldn't at Newbury. He's got soft ground form. He's fit and ready to roll. There has been a few quid each way around for him. He's now about a 6-1 chance. I'd rather play him each way at his 6 than bet 6-4 on Chaldine. But I can see him winning Chaldine and being, 4-1 for the Guineas if he were to win well.
Yeah, if you think that these races are a bit of a guess-up, there are loads of trends that you can pin your hopes on, basically. Look back historically at the sort of horse that wins this. Again, you've got a lot of 2-year-old form coming forward. A Racing Post Racing Adjusted of 1-2-1 has been a benchmark for this. There aren't that many of them in here. He just, look, we've had 2 wide open races so far. He's won at the track. He was very impressive when he won on soft ground at Doncaster earlier in the season as well. I find him very tough to beat on paper, and I think, despite Andrew Balding's had a couple that haven't run up to market expectations this week, I think this chap will.
Yeah, he might, but I don't. He should be 4-6 for sure on what he's done. But I know he's by Frankel, but he's very precocious pedigree. He's related to sprinters as well. All of his top. He's a half brother to Alchemate, who didn't stay in this last season and never really raced again.
Yeah, but it's a course and distance.
I know. But I'm just wondering, is he going to improve this season? Whereas a lot of these,
he might not have to win this, Rob.
No, he probably won't. Yeah, I'm just. I just wouldn't want to steam into him. He's obviously the lightest winner. He's obviously
where are the improvers coming from? This is where you're lurking. I can see.
Yeah. What I'll say is, it wouldn't surprise me that this race has had a better bearing on the Commonwealth Cup than the Guineas in recent years.
You're thinking Muhara.
Muhara, also Perfect Power, Flaming Rib 1-2. Flaming Rib was sick from this. Hello Zane 2019 didn't stay in this.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at Shirin as Bet
Yes.
365 do this each way extra thing, 4 places. I'll be looking at that.
With a Racing Post rating of 21, he hits the required standard. He's a massive price.
Yeah, he's a
isn't
massive price.
What
He's
is he,
just-
Pat? Remind us.
Well, we're actually 12 to 1.
Right.
Yeah.
ooh.
365 are more alive to his claims than some
all right.
people. But he's just crying out for further. He was put in his place by Ayr at Newbury, his stablemate. But
another worldie,
he
I
was
think.
finishing,
Yes.
a worldie, but Ayr, very quick horse.
Yeah.
This horse is definitely going to improve for a step
It's a
up in
fascinating
trip.
race, isn't it? You've got Streets of Gold in here, who comes in here 1-1-1 machine last season.
Yeah.
Not the biggest, they say. But Eve Johnson-Alton will be having high hopes for him. It's whether he can step up. He's in 8. Charles Bishop will have lots of options. You've got Theory of Everything, who at Doncaster, whether that's just crazy early season form, I don't know. But with a cut of ground, he looked like a really good horse. And they were talking about going to France with him for group races. Knight, as mentioned. Isaac Shelby, if he comes back to his that's a July form. He's very good as well. Zoology's form got a boost during the week at Southall as well.
And the
This is
stable,
a-
James Ferguson with Zoology, he had 2 winners at Newmarket as well. So that stable's rolling.
We've got Royal Ascot
Yeah.
winner in here, the Riddler. Do you remember him? Caused
Yeah, that's
carnage, didn't
that's
he?
what I mean. When you go through all these names, there's a lot of possible improvers here. So I wouldn't personally be taking odds on about Chaldine.
Yeah, okay,
But,
all right.
Yeah, I wouldn't put anyone off sort of... I think it's probably a race to sit out unless you want to take him on.
All right, fingers on the buzzers, though, maybe for the Guineas, Pat, and just curveball at the minute. Chaldine for the Classic?
He's at 8 to 1 at the moment, but you could see him halving in price. And of course, Frankie will probably want to stay. I know he's been trying to get a Kentucky Derby ride, but if you say to him you might win the Guineas, and not easy to get a Kentucky Derby ride at the moment. He won't be on the front 3 or 4 in the betting anyway. So
Which one are you more likely to win? Yeah, okay, all right. That is the last of the Classic trials then. Let us know where you're going down below. Love reading those over the weekend, and we wish you well. Let's go for some more established forms, shall we? Now, I stuck this racing on the running order. I love it. It's the Spring Cup at 3:15. This is the springboard for all these great straight handicaps. I know we've had the Lincoln, right, but it was messy old ground, that, and I'm not sure that form's good. We saw it let down. The second was well beaten in France during the week, albeit up in class. I think this is where we start our road to the Hunt Cups and ending up in the Balmoral.
yeah, and we've a shorty in the race at the moment, Latam, who won the Irish Lincoln under, I thought, a dynamic ride from Chris Hayes for William Haggis. Only just got up on the line and won, mind you. So he's been all the rage. Of course, he's got the recent form. It's punters love a William Haggis horse in a handicap. Tom Marquand on the board, but we've all seen it, haven't we? We've all seen it, and we all acknowledge its chances. So I'm inclined to look elsewhere. And there's 2 cliff horses I've probably got this season.
A sackable offence horse.
I know. Jimi Hendrix. He was a bit of a mover in the Lincoln. It didn't work out. First time blinkers tomorrow. So he might just step up for that. I wouldn't be surprised, whatever he did, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he's definitely in the equation. And the other horse I quite like is Atrium of Charlie Fellows, who himself didn't run particularly well in the Lincoln last year. But I remember reading that the trainer said he doesn't show an awful lot at home. So maybe he'll take a step forward for that. And he's a course and distance winner. So I'm with the cliff jumpers here a bit. Jimi Hendrix and Atrium.
Well, the Irish Lincoln we've had, our Lincoln we've had, Tam obviously won that despite a bit of a troubled passage, got up on the line. I think there's more to come in without question, but the price is a bit stinky in this race, isn't it? A low draw often helps in this race as well. He's in 12. I'd say that's just about the cut-off, really, but I'm with you, Pat, I'm afraid to say. I think Latam has got outstanding claims, but I'm not going near him at what could be a really short price.
2 to 1 is.
But could he
short
yet
enough.
be a group horse for Haggis?
Yes.
Yeah, he could do. There are others that could be. Saga could be.
Dave won a Lincoln, of course, for William. So look, I see it, but I am going to do a sackable offence with you, and we are hoping to be on song with Jimi Hendrix. First time blinkers. Apparently at home he was doing really good things, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe just got a bit bogged down.
Yeah,
That's the hope.
Might need the run. Yeah.
I just think he could bounce back, and you know what it's like. One of the biggest trends of forgiveness that I look at myself and discipline as a punter every year going into the flat. I'm like, be more empathetic towards horses that have run badly.
Yeah, don't be put off by a P every now and then.
Yeah, how many times do you fancy a horse and you forget it's running and then you see a one?
Oh, I
next to
hate
its
it. I hate it, yeah.
That's a golden rule not to do. So
Straighten.
we're Jimmy. Who are we going?
You Jimmy, Toy My Son was my initial fancy at the start of the week. Postmaned him up. Dav Menizio won the Lincoln with a horse
Migration.
called Migration.
Helps you out there,
seven. No, the horse's name, mate. Come on. Off a similarly high mark.
Well, you don't know this horse's name because I just had to scroll down your pronunciation.
Well, no, I just don't know how it's pronounced. There've been different theories.
Toy My Son.
Toy My Son.
Yeah.
I was like, Tour My Son.
Tour My Son. Oisin Murphy.
Oisin was booked early on. I thought
He's still waiting for a turf winner, isn't he, Oisin?
When Menuisier books, he's only booked like 4 times. He's
not
not
been
been
a turf winner so far this year.
No, he's going to get one on Saturday, mate.
Well, maybe.
We might get on today as well, I suppose.
Oisin.
But this horse, he's a little bit of a guess up because he was poor behind Astral Bow in a listed race at Donny on his comeback. He might have just needed it, settling into new surroundings. But he was quite well fancied for the Jersey Stakes last season when he was with Yann Barbaro. He's got a lot of decent form in France. Like he wasn't beaten far in a Group 1 as a juvenile behind
You nailed Yann Barbaro, but you didn't nail Toy My Son.
Yeah, it's more of a, I don't know how it's meant to be said, sort of
his
case.
pronunciation. Sometimes you can just say the numbers, people understand them.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna like the soft ground, but he's one of those where he could be a group horse, but he could also need to come down quite a bit to win. But at 25s, I was happy enough. Now I'm turning my attention to Saga. Benoit booked, big fan of. No?
That is a sackable offence, and these win on these shows. So
Saga.
I mean, he is a right monkey, Saga, isn't he?
Well, I mean, go back through his form. He's just running some top class horses, really. Modern Games, second to Modern Games, a novice. Second to Caribbean, a novice. Second to Maljoom in a conditions race.
I mean, it's a
3
long
Group 1
time
horses.
ago, that, Robbie, that I'm looking
And
for.
that Maljoom runs less than a year ago. He should have won at Royal Ascot, shouldn't he?
Yes.
It was the ride that they thought of all of the rides that week, they were livid with.
Yeah,
him
exactly.
about.
Frankie got it wrong there. He's basically off the same mark when you factor in Benoit's claim. He didn't stay. He didn't stay mile 2 at York behind Algiers, who's come out and obviously done great things in Dubai. The second there won a Grade 3 in Australia. Now he's gone out there. I think that form's pretty decent. He's been gelded now.
That
back
could
to a
be an
mile.
angle.
Yeah, that back to a mile.
Cheek pieces first time, no?
Yeah, first time.
They're putting
first
it
time
all
cheek
on.
pieces.
This is the time then. Okay, all right, I get it. So
I think so. Yeah.
you're hoping to get on the honours list. I'm going to the Tower because I can't have a royal winner at all in this race. So, but your Saga for you, the Gosdens, and with Gosden we trust.
Saga and 2 My Son.
All right, 2 for Robbie then. Are we going to have 2 in the biggie coming up your way? 3:35 up at Ayr. It ends the national season. It's the Scottish version. It's always a cracking race. And Pat, we've already seen the Me and Lion come out, obviously on this show as we were doing that. Let's hope it doesn't quicken up too much and reduce the field, but it's a wide open betting heat as expected.
As it is, and the anti-post mover was Monbeg Genius of John Joe. Of course, that was as a result of, he was 3rd to Corrick Rambler at the festival. So we all know what happened next. And he's been a popular order. The 7-year-olds have been popular in the market. He's a 7-year-old. Yes. Kitty's Light, amazingly, is a 7-year-old. I keep thinking it must be in veteran stage by now, but he's only a 7-year-old. And the other one that's been popular in the market is Your Own Story. Lucinda Russell, Derek Fox. When did they last have a big race winner? So the punters are latching on to the 7-year-olds, and they do have that progressive profile. I do quite like the look of Your Own Story. I think Monbeg Genius, I think he's too short a price. I think people are going all in on that Correct Rambler form. But nevertheless, he has his chance, as does Kitty's, of course. But Mighty Thunder, Your Own Story, and Mighty Thunder is quite well handicapped. So I could see Lucinda's pair running well. Mighty Thunder, of course, he's £16 lower than when he won this 2 years ago. The flip side of that is, well, he should be. But nevertheless, there was a bit of a spark about him last time. But I like the progressive profile of Your Own Story, and he's just 10 stone 2 as well, so he'll do for me.
Well, Mighty Thunder, of course, we've all been waiting to come back to form. Your Patrick Wodge is on. He's had all sorts of issues, I think, but there have been sparks. 6 in the hard, and we thought this is the day, but then beaten again next time at Kelso. I don't know about that. I saw a couple for this, a fair way out, and unfortunately the market's gone for them now. Monbeg Genius is the big mover then. Have we postponed in this race?
Nah, we have, yeah.
Who have we gone for?
Magna Sam. I've not heard anyone talking about him, but I like horses that are going to stay in this. There are quite a few of the novices. You're like, will they get home? This horse definitely will. He won the Edinburgh National at Musselburgh on his first start for Alistair Ralph. It is. He won that.
Stock boosted it in the week.
Caster won the other day. He won that pretty easily as well. It's his stable debut. He's obviously been put away for that since. He's off a 77-day break, but he won that first time out off a sort of 200-day break.
Flower of Scotland reopposes for Anderson Green.
Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more from Flower of Scotland at Kelso over hurdle. That was a hurdle race.
This has been the plan, hasn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I just thought he was interesting. He's still 20 to 1 off bottom weight. He'll like the ground. The other one I was looking at closely is Melina Girl for Gavin Cromwell. You just know she's going to stay as well.
Stumptown colours represented.
Stumptown, yeah. She's just like, she's got a bit of a wing my wings profile about her, just improving mare. She's got like bags of stamina and reserve. Well, in the Ulster National over 3.5 miles, she's going to be fine with the ground as well.
The market's going to be key here, guys and girls, because if Monbeg Genius keeps getting support, having now probably found his right price, he finished third in that Ultima despite inexperience nearly catching him out at a lot of fences. He was, spiked really high on the exchange and all that sort of stuff. And he's obviously a novice. So if he gets into a rhythm, look, I get it. He might just be slightly better than this, and he's a Dow stayer, I think. But his limitations are exposed for that. It's impossible not to have kids he's like on your shortlist. It's almost impossible. Despite the fact he's £8 up. If he'd have jumped a little bit better in the Eider, we'd have been looking at winning my wins again.
Not a good jumper though, is he?
He can be. In this race last year, we were all getting excited because we said to them, the connections last year, try not to get too far back. If this was us, this is what we'd be doing. Yeah. And they did that. And turning in, he was bang there. He just once again, he bumped into the stablemate. It was a shame. But if he jumped fine in the race last year. The other one is your own story, and this could well be back-to-back wins.
Yes, definitely.
For Lucinda. This guy, when he ran at Haydock last time, was coming back after getting out pace, and I did the analysis in the paper that day, and I said, this, be interesting if he goes. He's off a mark of 128. He's definitely better than that. This guy is really consistent. But the market, again, has kind of found him.
I know. You're looking for an each... When there's 5 or 6 places available, you're looking for an each-way thing, aren't you? I would never, very rarely get involved with it. Or sort of
We've had 40 to 1 winner in 2014, 25 to 1, 33 to 1, 25 to 1. But, of course, it was turned on its head the last couple of years. Mighty Thunder 8's big gamble for Lucinda.
Yes, absolutely.
We had her on the eve that year of this show, and Wing My Wing. So we're going for a hat-trick of Scottish Nashes. So I'm with Kitty's Light, I'm afraid, again.
That's a lot to you.
Oh, well, thank you. All good? We done?
Yeah.
We're wrapped up?
Mate, yeah.
All right, that's it. There are your Big Roof previews. Stay tuned for the naps. Right then, it's nap time on this dual-purpose weekend, as we keep calling it. Some classy action out there. Where will the guys be going? Before that, though, we keep running this lovely promo for you. There's a free bets offer out there for you. Do go and take advantage of that. Sign up, get involved. It's all out there for you. Nap time. Come on then, Pat, take the floor.
150 at Ayr, City Chief, the top weight, 6-year-old of Nicky Henderson. I thought it was quite impressive in his last 2 wins over fences. And when he won last time, it was in February, Connections did say, I think he'll go to Ayr next. So this has been the target. Yes, he's got 12 stone, but the ground drying out is going to help him. I thought he looked a classy horse to me last time out. Stamina, not an issue. Nico de Boinville aboard. All points to a mighty run.
Well, ultimately, phonetically, that's how we should be saying it, isn't it? And I think they're going to be in for a big hour. He was in the National Hunt Chase. He was in the Ultimate. They've come here. Of course, he's got course form, hasn't he, and all that sort of stuff. Love that, Pat Cooney. Robbie Wilders.
Love it, Pat. Heading over to Navan, 4:35. Emily Dickinson is running in the Vintage Crop Stakes. Obviously, apparently the heir to the Kyprios staying throne in the O'Brien Yard, but I'm going to take her on French Claim, who there's not much between them on ratings from last season.
Oh, he hosed up, didn't he, on his return?
Oh, he did. So, that was a nothing sort of race, but just the fact that he's fit, he's going to have his soft ground to like. Emily Dickinson's reappearing. He's opened up at a bigger price than Emily.
Yeah, she's got some big expectations on her shoulders, hasn't she?
She has, but I feel like people are getting carried away with that at the moment.
Fair enough.
And I feel like her colours might be lowered on Saturday.
Oh, you're in banging form, mate. Let's see if I can bring up the treble, shall we? I was tempted to go to 310. Andrea Azzini goes up to Thirsk, and he rides Mount Athos chiefly, I think, for James Tate, who really ought to win that 310. If there's any sort of price there. But I can't not nap Balco Coastal in that novice chase. I mean, if he doesn't win this, there should be a massive stewards' inquiry. Pat Cosgrove's got nothing on the inquiry that's coming with this if this doesn't win. He has to win.
You worried about the Turner's run?
No, not really. I just think it was all a bit too much for him there, and it was, we've seen that form, haven't we?
Yeah, this is more a sort of test, isn't it?
Yeah, this is just perfect for him. So it's a Hendo double with a bit of Aidan O'Brien.
We've given 3 quite shorties there, so.
But no, I like it. We've given Powerhouse Stables, and what you want out there are winners. Let us know yours below. Well, sadly, that's all we've got time for on this weekend's What a Shout. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for Christian Williams, as ever, beaming in. It wouldn't have been the same, would it, on the eve of the Scottish National? All the classic hopes, the dreams are still in live for the big one coming up at Newmarket in a couple of weeks as well. We'll be covering that. Don't worry about it. Of course, if you've not downloaded the free must-have Racing Post app, there you go. Stay ahead of the field. It's free. Get involved. Robbie Wilders, thank you for coming back on.
We love a freebie. Yeah, thanks for having me on, mate.
Absolutely, and good
Been a
luck
little
with
while.
everything. Pat,
Cheers.
fantastic. What does this weekend hold?
I'm off to Newbury on Saturday. Not just the classic trials, Hurricane Lane.
Yes.
Runs in the opener. A 5-year-old. Be interested to see how he gets on. So I'm at Newbury, and then we sponsor the final of the Bet365 Hunt Cup at Oxford Greyhound Stadium.
Chicken and a basket in the Hunt Cup over the stick. So fantastic.
Yeah,
All
looking
right,
forward
great
to it.
stuff. Yeah, all right, absolutely. So if you're anywhere near the vicinity, go and see the great man at Newbury, or indeed Oxford Dogs on Saturday night. I'll be putting my feet up tomorrow. Cannot wait. I hope you'll be doing the same. Don't forget, of course, gamble responsibly this weekend. That's what it's all about. All the sport out there, then you enjoy it.